Well, today I want to do my best to paint our funnels, and on the outside, of course. We're going to be using our number 22 gray here, and we're going to have to mask off the top so that the paint doesn't go down and ruin our black. And I might have figured this out for myself, but I might not have. The best thing to do is to paint the outside before you put the parts on the top. Now what I'm going to be doing is we'll be painting the outside, and then I'm going to be painting the pipes that have to go up the side, a darker gray, or maybe the NATO black. I'm not sure which one yet, and then put them on afterwards, and that way the darker gray will contrast with the side of the why does the word chimney keep coming to mind? And it's not smokestack either. Funnel. Oh, for goodness sakes. Okay, so it'll contrast with the side of the funnels. Yeah, well, let's just get going here and mask this off. Surely I can remember how to do that. Now, if you remember, going on 2 years ago when we got this frog tape, we concluded that it does not leave residue when you remove it. Now, I think just cut that as close as I can to the edge. All we have to do is just keep the paint from going over. Normally I can get these things to come out just one at a time, but for some reason this wants to have two come out. Actually 3. No, 4. My goodness. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. I wonder if maybe I tried to pack too many in there. Okay, that's kind of greasy. I think I better wipe that off. Okay. Now, I want to be careful I don't accidentally cut into the plastic. Okay, yeah, I think we can spray in at enough of an angle, catch the top. Now, suppose if need be, I can touch it up a little bit. Yeah, we'll think of something here. Okay, I'm going to do the other one the same way, only maybe a little bit less klutzy. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the rotator here just to help me paint it. Now, I won't have it under power, but it'll just make it a little easier, I think. This one here already has a piece of sticky tape on it, but not in the right place, unfortunately. So we'll put a little tiny piece of double-sided tape in the right place. Let's see, fasten it right there and fasten it right there. That should be good. I suppose I could do it like this. Put one here and one here. That should be alright. Alright, now where's my knife here? Sometimes this goes really good and sometimes it doesn't. Now, do you remember the story I told you about the porter in the train back in the 30s? And he was supposed to stick the cocktail stick just under the skin of the pickle. And I told you that I think about that every time I do this, and I actually do. Just that I never mentioned it before. It's funny how things like that will stick in your mind. Okay, now try and get this more or less centered on here. Alright. So is this going to work? Oh yeah, that's going to work just fine. Okay, I'm going to do the other one the same way. Now, I don't know if this is going to make any difference or not, or if I'm just going to end up knocking my funnel off of here. But what I have found is that I am having a tendency to not dust off my parts before I paint them. And then later, when I'm looking at them really close, like with a macro lens, and I'm showing off what a nice job I did, here I've got all these little tiny pieces of dust embedded in the paint. And of course, by that time they're dry and there's not too much you can do about it. Now I want to be gentle here. I don't want to get all aggressive. And now on the other hand, maybe what I'm doing is I'm creating a static charge on the plastic, and the plastic is going to be attracting dust like crazy. On the other hand, maybe it'll attract the paint. What's that painting process where the paint is electronically attracted to the paint, to the part rather? There's a little spot of glue or something. Wow. There's going to be so much rigging on this thing and stuff later, we're not going to notice that, and there's going to be pipes going up. I know there's no end to detailing this stuff, but you know, I'm just sort of, I'm not getting tired of it. I'm just sort of feeling panicky in that I'm running out of time, and I'm just never going to get this thing done. Yeah, anyway. Okay, so here's my thinking right now. I'm wondering if maybe we could use the auto rotation of this thing and just slowly work my way up. See, if I've got a turning like this and it's a large surface area passing by quickly, the paint doesn't really get a chance to sort of pool on there very, very slightly. It just sort of puts a real thin mist on, and then it dries, and then it comes around and puts another one on. It sort of dries. I don't know. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it with the auto rotation and just start at the base and just work my way up. That would put the most even coat on. There's no question about it. But would it put it on properly? Well, we'll soon find out, right? Okay, let's get the gloves on here. my thinking there was that it's just as easy to pour back lots as it is to pour back little. The only thing is, if there had been lumps in the bottom of the jar, well, that wouldn't be very good. All right. Now, also, I want to remember that I do have the 0.5 millimeter nozzle in there, so it's going to come out pretty fast. At least, I think it will. And I did thin this down just a little bit this morning before I shook it up in the paint shaker. Have I put it on too thick and it's slumping there? Yes, I did. Well, let's just hope that I think once it dries, it's going to be okay. It's not slumping really, really bad. Touched it with my glove right there. Okay, let's see how these look after they dry. They might need a second coat, but I don't think so. Like I say, let's let it dry. Okay, I'm going to clean this thing up, and maybe by that time we'll be able to take a look at them. Okay, with that 0.5 millimeter nozzle, and with this thinned out the way I had it here, 20 pounds pressure, which is what I had, was a little bit too heavy. I should have maybe had it down, I'm guessing 15 or maybe less, maybe even 10, what might have worked just fine. Because I went through, I would say, of what you saw me pour in there, I'm guessing about a little better than half of it got used up. That's probably why it was, sort of running in places. And yet in other places I've thought that I had to put a little extra on. Now it's still not quite dry yet. We'll give it a little bit longer. Now this airbrush I've had for, I guess, when was it? I think we got it just before we got the Bismarck. So we're looking at over 2 years I've had this airbrush. Now I like it. However, I can't compare it to anything else. So I really don't know. All I know is that I'm sort of getting used to it, how it will work well and how it won't. I'm finding that with this new 0.5 millimeter nozzle, it seems to spray a lot better. I do remember one of the viewers mentioning that he always sprays with a 0.5. So, that could be my go-to nozzle. I don't know. I've used it now the last, 3-4 times, and it's done a really good job. I just have to remember that I don't need 20 pounds of pressure to run it. Anyway, I'm going to go edit out these last few scenes we've got. I think we've probably got quite a bit of footage going here, and that'll probably take me about an hour or so. And then by that time, maybe this will be dry enough that it won't have glossy spots on it anymore. We'll be able to put it on the rotator and take a look. I'm thinking now we won't need to do a second coat. Looks pretty good here. Okay, undoubtedly back there by the clock, some of you already noticed that one of the new security cameras is sitting there with a little note on it that says faulty. Now, if I have time yet today, we'll talk about that. Otherwise, it's getting on. And today is Friday, and you know what happens Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I gotta make sure I cut this off early enough. Okay, let's move in just a little bit and look at the surface. I would say it's 99% dry. I don't think it's going to change in appearance in any way, even if it gets 100% dry. I think this is the one that's slumped, and it could be that the darker area we're seeing right there is not shadow, but where the paint may not be 100% dry. So maybe I was wrong about the fact, oh my goodness, look at how that seam shows up when I cast a shadow. Well, it was supposed to be like that. That was a weld. Yeah. Yeah, you can sort of see it right here that there's a bit of discoloration there. I think that once that's dry, we're not going to see that. Yeah, it's funny I didn't notice I was doing that. Anyway, yeah. Okay, I put the macro lens on here, and right there is where the slump line, you might call it, was. Just turn it around and see if it's any worse on the other side. No. Yeah, I think what's happening here is that paint is not quite dry. If I think of it, we'll check it again tomorrow. Too bad about that seam, huh? The welder didn't do a very good job, did he? Okay, let's move on here. Now I know what we could do. We can remove our masking tape here. See if anything got on the inside. Okay, what am I seeing right here? Okay, that is maybe where the paint sort of got a little bit heavy. I don't think it's going to show. Where's one of our caps here? Did I get the right one? Yes, I did. I think it. No, that's the wrong one. Murphy's Law, right? Okay, here we go. Alright, I think that's going to be alright. Get this painted black, and this ridge is already black, the edge of it. I think it's going to be alright. Let's take a look at the other one. Oh, there's something I wanted to show you on this one. Remember I was saying something about my glove touched the... yeah, isn't that too bad? More battle damage. Kind of does look good, like it got hit by a shell and it just sort of creased its way along there. Small shell. Okay. Oh, we got this little divot here, but once again, now this was the bigger one. Let's see how it's going to cover it up okay. Sorry, I'm getting my big ugly fingers in the way there. Oh, that's going to be alright. Sure. Paint that black, never know it in 100 years. Now, I did not wait until exactly 2 o'clock to press record. It just happened that way. Now, we're going to have to take a look at this tomorrow, if I think of it, and it'll give me a little bit more of a chance to, double check to make sure that it is the camera and not some sort of connection. Then I'll tell you my camera story. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.